Hello, everyone, and welcome to LEGO Batman. This is a villain free play showcase race featuring Craigelbagel001 and Lost Speedrunning. We got a great matchup here today. Both of these guys are top 5 in the LEGO speedrunning community, and this will feature many of the new tricks that we had recently discovered in the past couple weeks or so. Lost, you got anything to, or Omega, you got anything to add?
Shouldn't we just introduce ourselves?
Oh yeah, I suppose. Right now I am Princed, and with me I have Omega Fallen.
Hello? We're in this category right now, but that might change soon.
We'll be getting going in just a few seconds or minutes here. Looks like one of our runners isn't quite ready yet, but he'll be ready soon. So Omega, what is villain free play?
So basically, in this game, there are two halves to the game. There is the hero levels and the villain levels. So this is like the back half of the game in what would usually be an 90% run, and in the free play category, access to all the characters, whereas in story mode you would have access to just the regular two. We also have access to extras, which are just like invincibility, building things faster, stuff like that. And this is the shortest, sort of, not exactly full game category, but the shortest main category in the game. It's pretty decently optimized. There's a lot of fun stuff in this one. That Craig and Loss are starting on different levels. That's because you can do the levels in this run in any order you want. There's no rules on when you need to start or end. You just have to do all 15.
Yes, and like you mentioned, there are 15 levels in this category, 5 of them in 3 episodes. And the 3 episodes focus on 3 main villains. The first one is Two-Face and Riddler, and the second one, episode 5, focuses on Penguin, and episode 6 focuses on Batman's arch nemesis, the Joker.
Yep, and I believe both runners will be doing that one last.
I believe they're doing Riddler's Revenge, then the Penguin levels, Power Crazed Penguins, and then the Joker levels.
Alright, well, okay. So not exactly the same level order, but same episode.
And we'll be able to update you on who's ahead after each of the episodes. We can try to update you by level, but if they do them out of order, that's a little harder to tell.
Yeah. Generally, each level is roughly the same length, but some of them are pretty short because we basically skip to the end.
Okay, both of our runners are ready to go. So we're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, go!
Am I lagging behind here?
I think so.
Okay, great. Sorry.
Oh.
Right, so Craig is entering into the first level of villain percent that you would normally play, and Loss is going into the third one. Craig right now is doing just a small little skip to go over a gate instead of activating it normally.
And Lost just an AI manipulation where he jumps up on top of the banister and allows the other character to pull the lever from underneath it. And on Craig's side, you might have just seen him do what we call a drop-in warp, where you get one character so far ahead that you can actually drop in the second player, and he'll teleport to you. So in this game, we do allow for 1 player, 2 controllers.
it's usually only for that purpose, but there are some instances where you would like need to just like build two things at once. So right here, what Loss is doing is one of basically the most important glitches in this category, which is freeze fly, which is where you freeze a gliding character with Mr. Freeze and then electrocute them with Joker. Then if you switch back to that gliding character and double jump, you will rise into the air. Technical explanation behind that, the basis of it is that you gain horizontal momentum, but because you're frozen in place, it just converts to vertical.
And then with that frozen flight, I already called it
Freeze fly.
I forgot what it was
We call
called.
it
Freeze fly. Thank you. With that, you have the extended flight, where with that gliding character, you tap A or your flight button about 3 times every 2 seconds, or on a rhythm like that, and it'll allow you to glide much, much further than you would normally if you just held the glide button. Now Loss is just finishing up the quote-unquote boss level, or boss portion of this level. Craig's already done with his.
But I don't think that's indicative of their pace. I think Riddler makes withdrawals much shorter.
Yeah, I believe Craig's level was faster than Loss's level. It only takes roughly 2 minutes to get through.
There's a lot of instances of just jumping past things that would, you would normally go through, sort of just finding places that with a double jump especially, you can go into areas that even though it's perfectly within the bounds of what you can do in free play without glitches, they just didn't expect you to get to it. You can get out of bounds.
So now we've seen many different characters already, and some of them have different superpowers than the others. So Craigelbagel right now, he's got Mad Hatter, and something he's good at is double jumping, as well as using a mind control. And now there's also Batman's heat suit, which with an extra allows him to instantly kill anyone his battering touches.
Yeah. I also think, doesn't Mad Hatter have like a really quick melee animation or something?
He's got a fast lever pulling animation.
But you'll see that both runners are generally using him a lot because he's pretty versatile, just in double jumping and mind control. So it's sort of a personal favorite.
Well, struggling a bit with those goons. Finally gets through. Craig done with his second level now. And then he's going to be going into 4-3, which is the third level that, or the first level that Lost did. So after, we'll see who's ahead by the end of this chapter for both of them.
Yeah, so I believe either going to be going into 4-4 or 4-5 next, and Lost will be going to 4-1 or 4-5 next. So it'd be, they both went into the same final level.
Something subtle that Lost did there was he switched to the bomb suit for Batgirl, and with an extra on, it allows her to build without getting stunned from projectile attacks. She will get stunned from melee attacks, which he ended up getting hit.
Yeah, there's an extra in this game that supposedly makes you invincible. It's called invincibility. What it actually does is it prevents you from taking damage. It does not prevent you from getting your building animation interrupted by being shot or hit, or really anything else, which is a major pain.
Oh, I forgot Lost didn't do 4-1 yet, so after he finishes this level and Craig finishes his, we'll see who's ahead.
So, level we haven't seen from either runner in the first or fourth episode, depending on how you order it, is 4-5, the final one, which has a pretty annoying final release. We'll see how they deal with that.
And Craig's in the last room of this level. Now Lost switches to a heavy character, a strong character, so Mr. Freeze can pull levers or pull handles like that. And so he was able to move that garbage can, unlike Poison Ivy, who doesn't have that super strength.
Like most LEGO games, every character has a different array of abilities, and there are a bunch of things that certain characters can do. So that we're not just playing as the same character for the whole run, which is nice.
Something unique about Penguin is that he can put out some penguin drones, and if they hit an enemy or something, they'll explode. And Lost just didn't... Go ahead.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit more useful than the bomb suit, which you have to place it and then explode it, which takes longer than just hitting it with a bomb. Most instances for that.
Alright, so it does look like Craig's ahead, but only by a couple seconds.
Alright, we haven't seen 4-4 yet.
Now Craig's not doing a freeze fly here, where you can go out of bounds and then hit the load trigger for the next room. But in reality, doing this puzzle that he's doing right now doesn't lose him a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, I don't even think we know whether or not that's faster. It's probably by like a few seconds, and there's potential for time loss and demise to the point to where a few seconds is worth risking things for.
Yeah, Lost going for the same puzzle.
Subtle there, just like I mentioned with the double jump, there's a lot of instances to where the developers of the game just did not plan ahead for you, bringing a double jump into a level where you normally wouldn't have it.
Craig sent a penguin to hit a thing that allowed the lasers to be on, so once he broke that, he was able to get through. And here he didn't get something called laser skip, so he's going for the backup by jumping over the top of the laser generator.
That's it.
You'll see Lost going for the penguin bombs here, and he gets it. Now hopefully he can get that laser skip. You'll know if he got it or not if the lasers go up or not. So he did get laser skip.
That saves like a few seconds, mostly just a swag strat.
In story mode, it's a bigger time save than it is here in free play.
3, I don't think anyone really knows how it works. It has something to do with the second character fighting some of the enemies while they're off screen.
Yeah, we really don't know what really is going on with it. We have theories, but nothing's been proven. So Craig building with the bomb suit. Craig building with bomb suits so that any projectiles that hit him won't stun him. And he's also going to use Batman's bombs to blow up these red pillars. You're supposed to use the robot that you built to attack them, but you can just cheese it with these bombs.
Yeah, and the I guess collision for whether or not they can be blown up doesn't actually activate until you build the thing, so that's why we don't just blow them up immediately, because we can't. So that is 4-4 done. They will both be going into 4-5. So that will be 1/3 of the way through the run.
Now we got Lost finishing up that room, blowing up those red pillars. Now Batman can put down only 3 bombs without an extra. I think he can put down up to 6 with an extra. So he's going back to that back room to activate the last trigger But he has to wait for the bombs to blow up first.
That door that Craigelbagel just blew up, in story mode you're supposed to go on this really long tangent where you have to mind control a helicopter to blow that up, and in free play you can just blow it up with a bomb, so that saves a lot of time.
Now he did a freeze fly, and now he's doing an extended glide to skip a whole lot in the room he was in and the room he is in now.
The way that you can see an extended glide happening is it's just bobbing up and down. That's how it works.
Now, something Craig's not doing is another freeze fly where you would be able to skip all of this that he's doing right now, where he blew up 3 breakable things and then stepping on these red plungers to lower the gate.
It's a tiny bit faster, but it's more difficult because the enemies can shoot you, and if you're frozen, shots will immediately kill you, even if you have the invincibility extra.
Craig going for another freeze fly here.
This is the annoying one that I was talking about.
Yeah, so now he's going to kill everyone in the room, and then... Yeah, he's going to kill everyone, and then he's going to freeze fly again. Ooh, he got a really slow freeze fly there. There you go.
A little bit of his time ahead. He lost that. The end of Riddler's Revenge for Craig. On to 5th episode.
Alright, and now Lost going into the final room. Hopefully he can get a quick freeze fly. Craig going into the first vehicle level of the run. There are only 2 in the villain levels. And vehicle levels in LEGO games are not very good. They are notorious for being bad.
In this game, and especially for speedrunning, because this level has a very unfortunate glitch where, first off, there's a button that will sometimes just not activate, and the boss battle in this level has pretty much the worst action ever for the bombs.
Well,
so we'll see how they both deal with that.
These buttons that Craig's hitting right now, it's not random whether or not they'll actually activate. If you hit the button while you have the crosshairs on you, like the ones he has now, they won't activate. So you have to wait for that to go away before you can actually activate them.
Actually, the way to do it.
Yeah, that's the actual way to do it.
Legitimately didn't know that.
Yeah, for the longest time when I was running this game, I had no idea what I was doing wrong, and Waylon Wilt had finally told me, hey, I figured it out. You actually have to not have the cursor on you, and then it'll work first try.
That is so dumb, and that is exactly why I believe it's true, because only dumb things are true in this game.
Something to point out on Lost's screen right now is he did a freeze fly to skip this entire room. That was actually one of the first big cases of the freeze fly being used. The day we found out about freeze fly, we immediately tried that because that saved roughly 2 minutes of time. You're supposed to go all the way on the right side and build a truck by pushing down boulders and frozen objects, and it just takes so long to do. But instead we freeze fly and get into the transition.
But something you might have noticed, when he goes into transition, he actually just ends up right outside of the door and then has to walk back in. That's sort of just because of a weird way that transitions work in this game, where they're like, it depends what direction you enter them from. That will determine if you either go into the next room or if you just spawn right outside the door. We don't really understand. Lost
going for the swag kit. Lost going for the swag kit here. He has to hit all 5 of these slalom gates.
Oh
no, he missed it! Oh
shit. Oh, we can't verify this run now.
We have a running joke that if you miss the swag kit, you can't verify that run.
I never go for it, but I might start doing that.
I always go for it. It only loses like 3 seconds if you actually go for it. Alright, so now Lost has got to wait here.
Not too much to comment on Craig's side. This level is mostly just walking. There is a precise jump here where you... oh, you got it. Well, that's good.
There's actually a different setup for that. Actually, 2 different setups. One, you jump off of the porch right behind it, and you jump on top of the roof, and then you can jump over and hit the bomb. The other is the way Craig did it, and another is using the sides that are perpendicular to the one Craig did. It's a little harder because the gates are a little lower, but Craig just did it fine. He had no time loss there.
What Lost is doing right now is the second player is just jumping up to the second platform, and he's going to use Scarecrow to pull those levers. He has the quickest lever grab animation, really quick to the point to where you can actually use him to throw levers that would normally take 2 players in a quick enough succession that it just works with just 1 player. I think one more time.
Something different about this game as opposed to other LEGO games like LEGO Star Wars. In free play for those other games, if you pull a lever, you can cancel the animation of pulling the lever by switching your characters. But in this game, you can't do that. So that's why they would switch to Scarecrow. And they specifically picked Scarecrow for this level because there's another one of those 2-character lever pulls. So we'll be seeing Craig get there first. He's going to helicopter fight.
Yep. Using that vent to glide over that fence there. This level is pretty well known within the community for being trash.
It's hard to do it with 1 character, especially in story mode.
Yeah.
Oh, Lost struggling with this jump here.
It's unfortunate. It's kind of tight.
Yeah, he's sitting a little low. There he goes. He was sitting low on the barrel there. Alright, Craig's going for a 3-pound skip, where if you extended fly while you're dropping down into that room, you can actually skip that entire room. There is a freeze fly here that you can do, and it'll skip having to pull these 2 levers that Craig just pulled the first one. It'll go to pull the second one.
Yeah, so not the fastest way of doing it, but definitely much faster than doing the level as intended. Eve.
Lost is going to go for it.
Oh, he's going for it. All right, let's see.
I don't know if he's going for the full thing, but
let's take a look.
I think he is. He's going for it. So he's going to go through these windows. He has to drop down. So we'll see him outside. He'll drop down. And you'll see the lasers. And he's going to switch characters, and he's going to spawn inside that room. He's going to place a bomb down and blow it up and end the level. So he didn't even have to pull the 2 levers.
This time save. The race is a lot closer now.
Yeah, he just saved a whole lot of time compared to Craig there.
Craig is entering into 5-4, a level that is 2 major skips, both of which were discovered recently, one of which, this one that he's going to do right now, was discovered, I think, just a few days ago, where we can skip the first room. And he got it first try. Good for him.
Nailed it.
Yep.
And Lost is 20 seconds behind.
Next the next skip is called Croc Skip. It's actually something I found. It was pretty well sought after. It is incredibly easy to do. There
we go.
That skips having to build a crocodile that you ride through the sewers. This is a weird game. Have to build like every limb of it individually, and it was a very boring segment of the run. I'm happy that I was able to cut it out.
And the shortest room in the game for Craig right there.
Yep.
If you blinked, you missed it. Ooh.
In the room before that, Craig like did some double jumps to sort of just grab that there's a lot of stuff like that. Decent
Lost
thing
exit.
here is that Craig is going to activate the other button with a penguin bomb instead of spawning in the other player. That saves a bit of time.
Loss had to exit out of his level because he didn't have the characters he wanted.
Ooh.
Alright, so he's getting the out of bounds, and he's in the next room.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even know about that wall jump.
I think that might be faster.
Maybe. Alright, so he's gonna go for the croc skip here. Gets the freeze fly and the extended flight. Alright, and we got Craig going into the last level of the episode 5. This is Arctic World. He's going to be doing that same skip Lost did, where he did the freeze fly and skipped the entire first room.
Yep. So you're gonna be seeing you've seen this level already. So yeah, just the same things. Hopefully he'll go for the swag kit too.
I heard that they both were going to go for it.
Good.
And if Craig gets it, I guess we have to name him the winner.
Yeah. We'll see how the race goes. Loss might be able to make up for this time loss. Stuff that can go wrong in this game.
So another superpower we didn't mention before was that the female villains actually have a charm where the security doors can be charmed through. They can activate them and they'll get the doors open, but you can only do that with the female villains, so Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn. So we'll see if Craig goes for the swag kit here. Gets the first and second. There's the third. Fourth, and gets it. Now, it only showed up as a blue stud there because they're playing on completed files. A little bit of a time save you can have is if you collect the red brick, the super villain, which is kind of like True Jedi from the complete saga. Collect all the mini kits. It'll save you a little bit of time at the very end of the chapter. So Craig going for a little swag here. We found out you can get a little boost there while you're waiting for this light to shine down on the icicle and melt it.
Yeah, just build up speed for 12 hours and shoot yourself in the end of the level.
So Lost just running through this room. Yeah, we'll see how they end up after these chapters. Because I believe this is the last level for each of them in this chapter or this episode, right?
I think.
Craig just finishing up here with the 2 lever pulls. He's getting a little bit of bad luck.
Lost missed that jump, but not too much time lost there.
And so Craig's going to go into episode 6 now.
I think Craig is going to be ending on the final of the villain levels that they would play normally, and Loss, I believe, is going to be ending on 6-2. For reference, time is going to stop when they lose control of their character at the end of their final level.
And something subtle you might not have noticed with Lost was when he was trying to build that antenna, he jumped into the toxic waste with Penguin and then tried building again. While he's flashing, he has iframes, and so he's able to not get stunned when he gets hit by melee attacks.
Craig is in 6-1, Loss is still doing 5-3. I love that Craig is doing is just freeze flying to the end. There are 3 rooms and we fly over all of them.
Something unique about this level, though, is that in the boss fight, you're supposed to attack Commissioner Gordon a few times. However, we found out that out of bounds in that boss room is an end-of-level trigger. So they'll just freeze fly to that, hit the trigger, and they'll end the level there.
It's really weird because there's nothing like that in any other area of the game as far as we know, so a lot of research going into that, but nothing found yet.
So here he's going to go for the next freeze fly. Lost getting a little bit of bad luck there. He's finally got the button activated. They are taking different routes, so it's a little difficult for us to know exactly how far behind one person is to the other.
Boss battle here, and there it is.
So Loss is about 1 level behind, if I saw that right.
Yeah, roughly. Craig's still going in order so far, is going into the next vehicle level, which is arguably better than the other one, but they're all mostly the same.
There is potential for Craig to soft lock on the boss, though, so we'll see if he avoids both of the types of soft locks or if he'll be just fine.
I must be really lucky because I've never soft locked that boss.
I've had it happen to me many frustrating times.
Hopefully that didn't jinx it for me.
Alright, so Lost going for a freeze fly here to get past the puzzle / invisible wall. He just has to go right above this house.
I think we've mentioned so far is that both Craig and Loss are playing on PC. The world record run that I have is on Xbox 360. Really no difference in load times, however, on PC, you have to save at the end of the level. There's no way to save it, but on 360 you can.
That's correct. For Xbox 360, the first time you're prompted to save, if you decide not to save, you cannot save ever again in that file, as far as we know. On PC, however, after every single saving opportunity, you can either save the game or not save it. If you don't save it, it'll continue to be like that. You'll be asked to save or not. If you do save, it'll auto-save from there on.
Obviously what we want is for it not to save because that wastes like roughly 2 seconds at the end of each level, but it adds up after a while.
The downside to that is if you're in a run and you end up getting some kind of glitch that you can't complete the game or the category, such as all hostages, you'll have to either reset your run like an hour, no, that's a 2-hour run, 2 hours in, or you just save throughout the time and you'll lose a couple seconds here and there. So it looks like Loss is just about 3 minutes behind Craig right now. 2 minutes 57 seconds, I think I saw. All right, Craig's
Still not
through without.
too late for him to catch up. Ross is going into 6-4, and Craig, I believe, will be going into the same level, actually. There's a little thing in this level where you can do something similar to in 5-2, where you just switch characters and warp upwards. And so it's kind of weird why it works.
So Loss is going to be using Poison Ivy to jump on top of this building, and then jump to the next building, and then over this gate. He'll also be doing an extended glide to skip a ladder here that you would have to build. Alright, and you got it. Looks like Craig's going for a different variation of that roof skip.
But doing that double jump with Ivy can be pretty hard, so you're all strat.
Loss is actually behind right now. He skipped a couple levels that he'll have to go back to. So here, Loss is grabbing a motorcycle to blow through that gate. I don't know if he knows it or not, but you can actually double jump right over it. And he just did something I never knew about. You can go out of bounds there from the front side of that gate instead of the back side.
And the loading trigger for the next level is inside the gate, so we can just walk out of bounds and activate it. An interesting thing about that glitch is that it actually works in story mode, which is a pretty weird oversight. Easiest out of bounds glitch in the whole game.
Well, easiest one was there is an out of bounds in one of the story levels where you just jump over a gate, just a single jump over a gate, and you can walk out of bounds.
The boss fight that Lost is doing right now involves just placing down bombs and stuff to open up. It's a really weird boss battle because there is no way to make it faster in the story or free play. So far, there are 2 levels that neither one of them have done. 6-3 and 6-5. I believe Lost is going to be going to 6-5, and Craig will be going into 6-3, if I remember their level orders correctly.
Something on Loss's side is the Joker he has is actually a tropical Joker, which some people will set up their free play files so that it has the absolute bare minimum characters that they need. So some people won't even have Mad Hatter because he's actually a person you buy after episode 3, chapter 1. But he is a very usable character. Since he's got the high jump, he's got a projectile weapon, he's got the mind control, he can do wall jumps. But
right now, Craig is flying out of bounds to get to the end of this room. It's a little difficult because you can't see what you're doing, but we'll see if he gets it.
Yep. So he's still out of bounds right now, and he's going to go hit the load trigger right here.
Yeah.
There it is.
On Lost's side, he did a freeze fly to get up to this next room. And now he's going to activate this little platform and get the other character to walk over and activate the button, because that button can't be activated by a penguin bomb. It's pretty much random which ones can and can't. And on Craig's side, there's another instance of double jumps being completely broken. Let's see if Craig goes for elevator skip. He is not going for elevator skip. On Loss's side, those bell ringers can be activated by the penguin bombs, which is useful because sometimes the AI will not want to jump up there with you, especially with all the police spawning.
And then he's probably going to switch to Batman's demolition suit here and build so that he doesn't get stunned while building.
So Craig is coming to the end of 6-3. I think his only level left is 6-5, so when he completes that, that'll be his time, and I think...
Loss has 2 levels left, I think. I don't think we've seen his 6-3 or 6-2 yet. And he's going into 6-3 right now. So here's doing that freeze fly to skip this entire room as well as the next area. Freeze fly really broke this game. And the only way we found it was by going on YouTube, and some young kid had posted on YouTube like, hey, look at these glitches I found. And I don't know why we didn't think of it earlier, but little kids on YouTube are very helpful for speedrunning.
Yeah, it's sort of just funny because all of us, a bunch of people just trying to find ways to make this game quicker, and we just found it accidentally. Do videos like that on YouTube. It's scary to think that was only 3 years ago. See if Lost goes for elevator skip. Nope. A skip you can do by doing a freeze fly and then falling out of bounds. That skip's having to do all this stuff to activate the elevator. It's a tiny bit quicker if you do it really fast, I think. Maybe.
I don't even know if I've seen it before.
Yeah, I stopped doing it for a while because I thought it was really precise, but I was actually just making it more complicated than it needed to be. All you have to do is just drop down.
Alright, so Loss is finishing up his level here. Craig's going to be finishing pretty soon.
Yeah, I think Craig's time is coming up. Time is coming up. Oh. Oh, look at that time. That's pretty low.
And... time.
Okay, Craig beat my world record. There we go.
Wait,
no, I'm just reading that up top. Jesus Christ. I can't read the numbers. I thought that was a 37. Oh, Jesus.
And Loss has one more level to get through here.
I'm so used to like competing with Craig. So I don't know why Lost chooses to end his run. Well, normally you would want to like end on a high note, but it's his choice, I guess.
Yeah, one reason Lost is so far behind is I saw him quit out of 5-4, I think it was. 5-4, because he didn't have the character he wanted. Either way, it was a good race. To get a sub 40 in this category is pretty good.
Yeah. Right now, Craig is just electrocuting everyone for fun.
And Loss is going through one of the worst levels in the game, just because it's a vehicle level.
On the hero side of things, the other half of the game, which we don't show in this category, there is a level, which is 2-2, I believe, called Bat Boat Battle, or as we like to call it, Trash Boat Battle. Sucks, it's bad.
So hopefully Lost doesn't get those soft locks here. One of the weird things about this bomb that he's grabbing is that the first time you try to grapple it, it won't actually grapple it, but the bomb will actually drop down to a level where you can actually grab it. And when he gets it over to that target, it'll kind of magnetize toward it. He also has to avoid those squares on the ground because those can blow the bomb up.
Basically everything can blow the bomb up except for what you're aiming for.
Exactly.
One of the reasons why this is not a good level.
Now he's trying to grab these scarecrow torpedoes. And we'll see if he gets this soft lock. Looks like he avoided that one. He's got one more chance of getting it. So hopefully he avoids it as well. Alright, he's good there. Now if the helicopter is invincible, that's the other soft lock. Nope, he's good. So he'll be finishing up here. And
Final hit on the fade to black. Oh.
And time.
Both pretty decent times. I don't think that's a PB for either of them. And despite my reaction, because I can't read numbers, neither one is world record. I just apparently can't put a 9 from a 7.
Hello.
Congratulations, Craig, on your win.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Nice job on the sub 40.
I was actually quite happy with that run, actually. I'm not going to lie. There was quite a few mistakes that I was kind of annoyed about, but mostly, I was pretty proud. Not going to lie.
Now that's about a minute behind your PB, is that correct?
It is, yes. It is. But even with the new skips as well, it's a bit sad, but... No. Honestly, I'd take that. I'm actually really happy.
Right. Well, Craig, not only did you win in time, but you also were the only one to successfully grab the swag kit.
Oh, yeah, was I? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What really matters.
Lost managed to miss the last slalom gate.
Ooh, yeah, it's a tricky one sometimes, yeah.
Lost, welcome, GG.
GG.
Now, not only Lost did you lose in time, but Craig got the swag kit.
Yeah, I missed it. I had like the double swag kit, but I lost it.
Did you see the strat that I did at the end of 6-4, where I hopped on the truck and that instantly destroyed it?
I did not see that.
So what you can do is if you go up to the truck as it's starting to park, you press triangle at a certain point and it allows you to hop and ride on the truck, and as soon as it stops, it instantly destroys the back of the truck. If you go back and watch it, you'll see. I found that tonight. I don't know.
I know what's happening there. In story mode, you're supposed to be using this clown machine with Joker. And what you can do is as soon as the trailer is detached from the truck, that trailer is breakable. And so I guess what you're doing there with the truck is you're hitting it because trucks can act like bombs.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you're hitting it in its vulnerable frames. Now, it doesn't last forever. It lasts for maybe like 5 frames, if that.
Oh, wow.
Now, Loss, I had one question for you.
Yeah.
What happened on 5-4?
Yeah, I went for the room 1 skip.
Yeah.
I tried to jump into the second room, but I missed it, and I to the ground below, and there I got softlock because I didn't have a strength character who weighed like the entrance point. You need the strength character to free the ladder. There.
Very interesting.
I mean, I was actually quite surprised when I got the first room skip, but instead of usually when I practiced it, I went into the minikit room, whatever it was.
Mhm.
I somehow managed to skip right into the second room, and I was just mind blown when that happened because it was the first time it happened, and it happened in the race, which was quite lucky.
Yeah, I'm doing it directly to the second room, to the pipe room,
Yeah,
and then
that's
I
right.
clipped out of bounds the lower floor, the lower
All
room
right.
1 floor where minikit is.
Any parting thoughts?
Thanks for the race.
GG.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah, GG. Yeah.
Hey,
All right, now we're gonna throw it on over for some Mario Maker.